Today we're going to take a look at why Zeon lost the 1-year war. Now, the original Mobile Suit Gundam anime points towards the instability and infighting within the Zabi family. But when Degwin was murdered by his son, he was on his way to negotiate a possible end of the war. So really by this time, Zeon's goose was already cooked. But what happened? When Zeon began the invasion of the Earth, they clearly had the momentum and the upper hand as well. In my previous video, we touched on very early stages of the 1-year war, like the 1-week battle, the Battle of Loom, and the Antarctic Treaty. If you have not seen that video, I will link it in the description. The first important battle that started to turn the tides in favor of the Earth Federation was Operation Odessa. Operation Odessa was the Earth Federation's first major offensive attack on Zeon that took place on Earth. Now let's take a look at Odessa and why it was so important. Odessa was an Eastern European city in the country of Ukraine, located in the northern shore of the Black Sea. The city served as a large resource center originally for the Earth Federation, due to its several mining facilities. Zeon took control of Odessa on March 1st UC-79, and gained control of all mining facilities, using them for vital resources that they could not get on the space colonies. This blow was not as impactful to the Earth Federation because they had other mining facilities on Earth that they could use for some of these resources, while Zeon was heavily dependent on this location. So we know if the Earth Federation was to retake these mining facilities, they would dish a serious blow to Zeon, and the Earth Federation did just that. On November 7th, the Earth Federation launched a major counterattack for control of Odessa. The Earth Federation used about 30% of the entire Federation army, and began with a blitzkrieg attack on the entirety of Zeon's defensive lines. Zeon forces were unable to stop the advance and eventually had to fall back. Now, 2 days later, on November 9th, the Earth Federation penetrated the last of Zeon's defensive lines. With defeat right around the corner for Zeon, they threatened the Earth Federation with a nuclear attack. The Earth Federation took this as a bluff due to nukes being banned under the Atlantic Treaty. Zeon was not bluffing though and fired one nuclear missile, but luckily it was intercepted by the RX-78. The Earth Federation was able to retake Odessa, but Zeon was able to take some of the resources with them back to space, but not enough that was needed. The next major blow to Zeon's advancement on Earth would be the Battle of Jaburo. Now, Jaburo was an important location for Zeon to overtake, as this was the headquarters of the Earth Federation's armed forces. If successful, Zeon would be able to cut off supplies, information, and production of weapons and tanks. Now, the headquarters was incredibly hard to penetrate due to the headquarters being located underneath the Amazon River. Char was able to find an entrance due to following the white base as it headed towards the headquarters. Char relayed the position and began the attack, consisting of Zakutus, Goffs, Doms, Zigoks, and Gogs, and one Zok. Now, Zeon's attempt would be unsuccessful due to the fact that they had to fight through a barrage of anti-aircraft artillery, mines, and entrenched positions. Also, this was the first deployment of the RGM-79s. Also, the white base in RX-78 played a pivotal role in stopping Zeon's advancements. All this proved to be too much for Zeon, and with this loss, had to retreat back to space, giving the Earth Federation big momentum in the fight. Now, the next nail in Zeon's coffin would be attack on Zeon's asteroid base Solomon. The attack was known as Operation Sembalo. On December 14th, the Earth Federation began its attack on Solomon. Zeon fought its best against the Earth Federation by using the Big Zom, but sadly the RX-78 was able to defeat Zeon's mobile armor, and this lost them their space base Solomon. The Earth Federation now had a great mobility base in space, and was a huge step for the Earth Federation. It was around this time, after heavy losses, that Degwin Zabi decided to reach out to the Earth Federation in hopes of negotiating an end of the war. With the assassination of Degwin by his son, on top of these major losses, and now serious cracks in the Zabi royal family, this led to the final battle at Abaoku. And if you've seen the original Gundam or my previous video, Abaoku was the final battle where Char killed the last of Degwin's children, and the remnants of the Zeon military fled to Axis. But by the time they made it to this battle, Zeon had already lost, and Degwin knew that. His son's lust for power and control just extended the inevitable. Thanks for watching and making it to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to reach out to me on any of my socials, I'll have them linked in the description. Feel free to DM me with any ideas for content or any questions you might have, or that I can help you with. Until next time.